was there, that'd be natural. But he doesn't come here with a ton of animosity against that group. I think he feels really good about his opportunity just here and what it's turned into be and what it can be in the future. And at the end of the day, we raised a trophy, and that's what he came here for. So, but in terms of X's and O's, very limited, I would think, as to what we've got for him, and nothing that's come across my desk. So I would tell you, we just got to have to prepare and do what we do, and probably really not that concerned about what that they do so much.
And Coach Smith is kind of known as being a quarterback coach, kind of that way. But they look like they're really balanced because of the running back they have. I mean, B.J. Baylor looks like he's a really good one, but they still are obviously capable of throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think they're extremely balanced. Their offensive line has the ability to do both, and they've done both. And I agree with him. I think he takes a very balanced approach. We try to do the same. That doesn't always mean 50-50 run pass, but they have run the ball well, and they can protect the quarterback. And as I mentioned, he is very, very good at hanging in the pocket. Feet are great, and he can make all the throws. So you have to defend them across the board. They don't just throw it to one guy. They don't just throw the ball. They don't just run the ball. They're very balanced in terms of who they get the ball to, and their run pass ratio is very equal. And so, again, creates tremendous challenge for the defense.
Coach, I know you've talked about how what this season's meant for this team based on what they've went through last year, but what about you personally? What the tragedy you've been through, and then moving across the country, marrying Brittany and all that, and now having a Mountain West Conference championship underneath your guys' belt. For you personally, what has the season meant to you?
I went through a stretch where going to work every day wasn't much fun. And honestly, just getting out of bed wasn't much fun, to be truthful. I think anybody that's lost their best friend of 28 years and then lose your dad, those are the first two phone calls I made after everything that happened in my life. Every big, every bad, everything. Those are the first two calls. And so I tell people I loved my time in Jonesboro. I'm proud of the job we did there. Not satisfied. I'd love to not have to drag those people through all the things we went through for the last few years. But, we didn't know what the ending line looked like. We were trying to win in football, trying to win against cancer as well. But it did take a toll. And I hit some really dark places in my life. And I'm so grateful that God brought Brittany and the girls into my life, to somebody that understood what it was like to lose as well. Lost her mother just a couple weeks after I lost Wendy. We both claimed to God. We became really close friends. And next thing you know, we fell in love, not by design. But this move here, unexpected as it was, but man, just so refreshing. I needed to be able to move away from so many visible triggers and smells and sights and sounds that just would not let you move beyond that period. And here it's been amazing people, beautiful scenery, phenomenal group of guys to be around every day. And I told them for Thanksgiving, everybody's kind of talking about what they're thankful for. And I broke down in tears and promised that they have no idea how big of a healing part of my life they've been. They really given me the joy of what I've always loved to do, which is coach and be around the sport. And I'd lost that. And this season has been a healing process. I'm beyond thankful for God just bringing us here and creating those opportunities. But every person involved in this room has had a part in that. And there's no bigger joy than to go on a journey with a group of guys against all odds every step of the way and see them just continue to overcome those. And so exceeded every expectation. I've said that a million times. I could not have pictured it to be the ride it's been. And the cool thing is we're really just getting started. So
thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Sure.
Logan, I'll ask you the same question I asked Coach. With bowl weeks, you kind of have to find a balance between, enjoying the week and the experience, and because you've earned it. And then at the same time, you want to go and win the game. So you have to be locked in. How do you feel like you personally and as a team, how do you manage that, trying to have fun, but also being locked in on Oregon State?
Yeah, it's always challenging sometimes. It depends on the team. I've been in many bowl games before. Every every team's different. Every year's different. With the maturity of this team that we've gone through the year, I think it'd be pretty easy to figure out, hey, this is practice time. We need to lock in and focus, and then it's time to cut loose. I think when you play bowl games and you're there for a week, it's always good to cut loose. In my past experience, and then you work hard during the day, and then you cut loose when it's time to cut loose. And I think that if we do that, we'll have a good chance to go out there and play our best, play loose.
Logan Al Lewis, KVNU, and Logan, we've talked to you about your preparation and how you watch film. You talked about that one night you watched it starting the next day when you played a Friday night to Saturday. You probably had a little more time with recruiting going on and you being here to look at Oregon State a little bit more while the coaches have been out recruiting. What do you see of their defense, and do you have more time? Do you feel like you know them a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been watching a lot, and I think that what really shows up is the last few games. They got a new guy calling plays for them in the defensive in the back end, or just the whole defense in general, and they've been playing their best ball the last 3 weeks. Their last 3 games have been their best games defensively, I thought. And they're really talented in many areas, and they're playing really good ball. And I think that it shows up on tape that they play hard. They're really sound in all the coverages, and they play really well. So it'd be a tremendous challenge for us.
What specifically can you tell us about how they play defense, or what's really good about their defense?
Yeah, they're always in your face. They play really good defense in all phases, technically sound. They're really athletic. They're fast. And it's going to be really a good challenge. It's a really good defense.
Logan, a lot of people saw the Wednesday video. You shared that moment with Coach Anderson. You got a little bit emotional, just which I would have done the same thing if I was in your shoes for sure. But just talk about the journey and what it's been like, how much of an emotional roller coaster it has been from arriving here, breaking your foot, and then being where you are right now.
Yeah, where do I start? I guess, when I left Arkansas State. Never in my mind committing to that school where I thought I would ever leave. I was raised to get the job done until it's done. And but sometimes you have to leave in certain situations. And I felt like that was the best opportunity for me. It was really hard leaving. I love that school. They were nothing but good to me, and they'll always be a part of me. But I had to leave, and then I come here. Ready for a new journey with Coach Anderson, and then just a minor setback out pretty much the whole year until the season started. So that was hard. Guys, I couldn't really mingle with the guys as much as I wanted to. Couldn't play, couldn't show them that I was here for them and wanted to show them what I was about. So I had to sit on the sidelines for a lot of the spring and summer. I didn't say much. Just did my job, went in, watched film a lot, tried to learn everything I could. And stuff like that. And then when I knew my time was ready, I was going to show them that I was here to win a championship, and did whatever it needed to do to win a championship, and do everything I needed to do on my end to help us win. And so I think that it eventually played out, and that's what I've been waiting for all year. It was a special moment with me and Coach Anderson. We shared some words that I'll keep between me and him, that we've been through a lot, and it was just really emotional for that aspect, and nobody deserves it more than him and his coaching staff and the players on this team that were here before me and the guys that transferred. So everybody in this organization deserves everything that we've gotten, and we're looking forward to the next one.
Told me before the season, Logan, you talked to Kent Myers quite often, the former Aggie quarterback. What has he said to you now? You win the championship this year. What have you heard from him?
Yeah, we talk a lot. Me and Kent grew up together. He's a little older than me. We played against each other in high school. I was a little baby, 15-year-old kid when he was a senior. But we played against each other. He whooped me for sure in that game. But he's a great dude. We talk a lot. We talk 3 or 4 times a month. He was just congratulating me. And he just said he was really proud of me, and he was really happy for the school and all that stuff like that. So he's a good dude. A lot of people reached out. And so I think that it was really important for me to try to continue his legacy. Coach Keaton, Kent, Jordan, all those guys established here, and I'm just trying to keep it going.
Yeah, I think he was a bowl game MVP, as I remember, maybe in the New Mexico Bowl where we played there before. You win a championship, so you really want to win the game this week. You're a winner. When you play football, you win. You want to win every game, right? Isn't that the way you approach it?
Well, absolutely. You try to win everything you do. Not only in the football games, you try to win everything you compete at, whether it's ping pong in here with Coach Anderson or out on the field of practice or in the game. That's just how I am. That's how this team is, and that's how you prepare. You work too hard for all year round for 12 to 13 to 14 opportunities. We literally work every day for those 14 opportunities. Only 12 are guaranteed. So yeah, you want to win every game. That's just there's no other option. So you work your butt off every week and every day and every second to get that win.
Logan, what has been the key to you guys having such success on the road this year?
Yeah, I think it's the mentality that we go into. I personally I love home games more than anybody, but I really love away games too. I like going on the road, staying in a hotel with your teammates in a hostile environments. You're the only one in the city that's rooting for you. In that stadium, they're the only one rooting for each other. I like that environment. I like when it's hostile. I like when it's where it's only us in the stadium and fighting against everybody else. I like that. I think this team has embraced that. So I think it's a really good mentality we've had all year of just, hey, it's just us. We came into the year like that, whether nobody picked us to win, but 3 or 4 games this year. So I think that we came in that no matter what, home or away, it was just us against the world. And I think we've carried that the whole year.
Anything else for Logan?
Do you watch the Jimmy Kimmel show on TV, Logan?
I've seen it a few times. I'm not from the West Coast, so it's hard to watch everything. But no, I've seen it a few times. I'd be really excited. A cool experience to see.
Justin Al Lewis from KBN, you and Logan, just give us your background in bowl games and your experiences where you've been with the teams you've been with.
I went to 2 bowl games while I was at Fresno. We went to the Hawaii Bowl and then the Vegas Bowl. Had a lot of fun, and I know we're gonna have a lot of fun going to LA Bowl with this group.
I asked Logan if he liked Jimmy Kimmel or watched his show much. Do you watch the Jimmy Kimmel show, or have you ever watched that very much?
I don't think I've ever watched it, no, but I know who he is.
Justin Rice, Jason Turner from the Herald Journal. Their offensive line's only given up 10 sacks all year. Obviously, you've had more time than normal to look at them heading into a game week. How do you guys make a dent against those guys and get pressure to Nolan?
Yeah, we just got to play our game, and we're very aggressive in our blitz schemes. We're very aggressive when we tell our D-line to go eat on a pass down. So they're a very experienced unit. They're very good. They're very athletic. And as long as we play our game, I think we'll be just fine with our pressures and how we play.
How much do you guys come into this game off of how you played against San Diego State? Mentally, physically, defensively, you guys had the terrific game. Can you keep that going after waiting a week?
Yeah, that game gave us a tremendous amount of confidence. I think that's just been happening throughout the whole season, just gaining more confidence, more trust in each other, and just playing better ball as the season went on. So I definitely think we're going to carry that into Oregon State this week.
From the first game till now, what's been the biggest improvement of the defense, do you think? Justin, we look at it.
I think just trusting the scheme. A bunch of guys have played in a bunch of different schemes, a bunch of different coaches, and just trying to find that trust for that scheme and the coaches telling you what to do is probably the hardest thing to do. And not only to trust the coaches, but to trust your players. When you know that you're supposed to be outside leverage and you jump inside and give up the edge, then there's not a lot of trust building. But when you're setting edges and people know that you're going to set edges, they can take better angles and, get to guys quicker because they know that that edge is going to be set, or they're going to have help over the top. So they can play a lot more aggressive in certain situations. So definitely trust just everything within that, coaches, players, scheme. The longer you're in it and the longer you're building a bond together, the better you get.
Justin, what are the emotions like for you and your fellow seniors heading into this game, especially given, how great this season has been and how are you guys feeling heading into this week?
Very excited. I think I sat with Nick in the locker room for about 5 minutes, just smiling at each other and just so happy that, we got to the Mountain West Championship and we won the Mountain West Championship. And now coming to the bowl week, me and him just